Thank you very much. My name is Angel Diaz-Maroto. So more or less, no, he did it right. You did it right. You did it right. You did great, actually. Okay, I have two important disclaimers for this talk. Yeah, the first one, I had something different prepared. Yeah, I have something different prepared, and I will explain you later what I was supposed to be doing, and I'm not doing it. Why? Yeah. So sorry about that, but you will know what. Second is this. So everything that I will be talking about here might or might not have happened in this exact way, you know, because this is a very, very sensitive topic. It's about government. It's about banks. Maybe they don't want to be revealed, the name of people. Sensitive, sensitive topic. So I would just say, as a big disclaimer, this might or might not be the reality. If you want to know what the reality was, come to me and I will tell you in private what was the reality. Okay, so now I'm safe. Yeah, nobody's gonna sue me, right? So they might or might have not happened in this way, but it's for sure is a reflective experience. Something that I learned in my life, sadly not in the easiest way, is that any crisis leads you to a big learning. I will explain a little bit about a big crisis in my life. Honestly, I was not planning to share this in this talk, but when I was 24 years old, I lost my father. It was not easy. And he was sick for 1 year. We knew that was going to happen, but still I was not ready. You're never ready for such things. When he passed, and I was looking at him, he was already dead. I promised him, you're gonna be proud of me. Yeah. At a time, my passion is dancing. I was a professional dancer, and some of you that know me, they know that. They go like, yeah, he's a great dancer. I can prove that. But I was not much into my current work. I was a developer. I liked developing software, but it was not my passion. My passion was dancing. And but once I was there alone with my father, and I told him, look, I'm going to take care of Mom. I'm going to make you proud of me. I realized I had to change something. So like being a professional dancer and make a career of that, taking care of your family, doing that is very, very difficult. It's a huge challenge. And I decided to change perspective and focus on my work. And then I became a better developer, went work in a bigger company. I make a career, and now I'm here. I'm really proud about this because you guys know that I was not supposed to be here. My first degree was as an electrician. Yeah. So I paid my way to the university, and I come from not the best economical environment. My father lost his job when I was 10 years old. So I started working when I was 15. The point is, that gave me the power to change my perspective of my career. The question is, do we really need such big things to happen, such a big crisis to happen in your life to think about improvement? Do we really need this that is happening now to start thinking about improving health and remote work and all those things? Do we really need this to happen? Or we can maybe just simulate that in a maybe not such harmful way so that we can start getting those learnings. Also because my hypothesis is that this is going to become every time more frequent. Yeah? If this crisis that we're facing now had happened 50 years ago, it wouldn't have spread so fast. Why? Because now it's cheaper to fly, because now communication and media works in a different way, and so on and so forth. Yeah? So yes, now this crisis spread faster, and the impact is bigger. So it's not an option. We need to get ready more frequently. Yeah? And as we can get ready for accidents or for earthquakes, and for fire, we can also get ready for all the types of threats that our companies can be facing, such as somebody coming into your market and changing the rules of the game. This is something that now happens way more often than before. It's happening now that to get a new product in the market is a matter of weeks, yeah? And this is why we're here. We're here in this Agile community because we realize that right now it is so easy to create new products that either you create a product that is custom-made for your needs of the customer you have, or the customer is going to choose someone else. So either you become more adaptive to those changes, or the customer is going to choose another provider. And that's why we're here. But this happened now every week, and happened 50 years ago every year. But what is happening now every year that I believe, is going to happen every week in a matter of 10 years or less, creating a new business that really disrupts your market. This Uber, this Lyft, this Airbnb, that they come and they change the rule of the game, is something that happens every 2 years, 3 years, 1 year. But you know what, like every time is much easier to create a new business. It's super easy, and the cost of production tends to go to zero. It's so easy to tomorrow get your banking license and compete with the biggest bank in your country. So this is accelerating how companies can disrupt business domain, the whole business domain. So either you start getting ready now, or it's going to be too late when the crisis is there. So this is why I'm here. I believe that the next step for agility is resilience, is being able to recover when disruptive changes come into your business and also into your business domain. And well, the good news is we know a lot about experimentation, right? Because Agile is about experimentation. But why don't we use the experimentation power we have in order to experiment and simulate crisis so that you get those learnings for your contingency plan and for innovation? So this is why I'm here. Do we really need to wait for a crisis? Why don't create your own crisis? So I will explain you like 3 stories. The first story is about this bank in Argentina. Doesn't exist. You know, it's a hypothetical bank. Actually, you know, Argentina doesn't exist either. I saw it in the video game. Yeah, it's an Argentina. Yes, Argentina exists. Yeah, of course. Well, so they had a big threat happening there. So maybe you're familiar with the situation with the government there. And they knew that the government would change soon. And in this bank, they know that they would have an impact on the top management of the bank. And they would have, for sure, an impact on the whole country and therefore in the economy of the country. Yeah. They didn't wait for that to happen, but a little bit before they called me and they say, why don't we do some simulations around this, right? And we chose a simulation. We did a simulation on this. What would happen if we have a strong currency devaluation, we have liquidity issues, and we finish privatizing the bank? Yeah. And here I will explain you what I was planning to do, but I'm not doing. Because when I started working with the people in this bank, and I get together with the management and say, okay, let's plan for the scenarios that you want to simulate, they came up with scenarios such as, you know, like small fintech companies coming, or like people not using our payment services, or having issues getting, like, you know, like, are you really afraid of that? So the government is going to change. And you had the corralito happening like not many years ago. You know, like people like destroying your branches. Are you really afraid of that? So when I did, I got them into, first into this relaxation and to use hypnotic languages. I use NLP for this. I use hypnotic language to get deeper what is in the back of the heads. So what are you really afraid of? Yeah. So I could get them into this suggestive mind state. Yeah. So you can really dig deep and find what you are really afraid of. What are the threats that you're really afraid of? Because if you ask me, on the top of my head, what are you afraid of? Say, okay, I might be afraid of losing my flight back to Europe, because you know what? Yeah. Or what are you afraid of? Losing my hair. Well, already happened. No, I would for sure share something that is not super important to me, something I'm really afraid of. What I'm really afraid of? I'm afraid of my mom dying. This is what I'm afraid of. She's 84. In the Spain situation is not great. I'm afraid of that. But I wouldn't tell you that unless I go to this mental state. But I'm not doing this here because maybe you are already in that mental state. Yeah? So that's why I'm skipping that part. Yeah, and get back into this. So we simulated this. So after this mental state that I put them through, they come up with this scenario. This is privatization of the bank. You can't really talk about this in the bank. You can't talk about this. Yeah. So we simulated in very, very we hide the simulation. Actually, we're supposed to do completely the opposite. Yeah. Because this might happen, and it's going to be a lot of people like fired from this company, big structural changes, and maybe this strong currency devaluation can lead into these riots, and like really being afraid of your physical well-being as an employee of the bank. This can happen, but still, it's so uncomfortable to talk about this crisis that it's better not to talk about them. And let's maybe have a contingency plan in case that happens, and put it in a cabinet, close it with the key so nobody can know what is in the plan. No. Try it out. Put it in place. See the flaws. Learn from it. Do it frequently. As we frequently do fire simulation, do disruptive business changes simulation. Yeah, it's going to give you a lot of learning. It's not an option. It's not an option. So, well, we got some teams that are exploring this thing, and they came up with a small communication plan, the possibility to create their own cryptocurrencies, or invest in, or give the possibility to customers to invest in commodities easily. Well, initiatives you might or might not implement, but at least you have a starting point, and you kind of being there. Yeah. If you being there is, at least you have some information to go through the crisis. Yeah. Another case. An insurance company in Lithuania. Yeah. You see, Lithuania doesn't exist either. Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, I think this time is not so terrible if I share the name of the company. So after you can ask me for the name of the company. So what it was happening in this company is that it was so easy to have a new company in Lithuania that many employees were leaving the company to found their own startups to compete with this big insurance company. And it's so easy to create a new insurance company that it was a matter of weeks or months in which they were already competing. And it happened that another bank had an employee using all the information that he had from the bank to create an insurance company. Yeah. It was not a compete because that bank didn't have an insurance, but it was competing with this other insurance company with all data coming from a bank. So that's having a very strong competitor in a matter of weeks. Not pleasant. Yeah? So the scenario that we decided to simulate is, what if one of those finds a way to offer car insurance for free? What would you do? Because for sure, and let's say that these people, they get a 60% of your market share in a matter of weeks. What would you do? What is the impact? Yeah? So we simulated that. And out of this simulation, we came up with an artificial intelligence system that was learning how was it possible to lower the prices of insurances because of the season, because of the weather, which is the climate is a very strong determination of insurance prices in Lithuania, because it can get really cold in winter, and therefore it's easier to get cars needed to be repaired because of this. Yeah. So that's just an example. They came up with this automatic learning tool that can learn how to decrease prices on insurance. Well, the question here is about you. The third story is about your company. Yeah, it's about your business. So what is your threat? What is that thing that can happen that might question the continuity of your business? Not something small, like not losing the hair, but something that can question the continuity in your business. Did you simulate? Yeah. Because I already told you why I think we should care. The probability of that happening is every day higher. So if we don't simulate, we might not have the tools to respond accordingly. We have new threats. We have bigger impact. We have a ripple effect happening. We are seeing that now. So agility is not enough. Now it's about being resilient. We need that new skill. So these disruptive changes are already the new normal. And we need to start building that capability. As we build the capability of responding to changes, we build this capability, this ability, this agile ability, we need the resilience ability very soon, and every day more. So how am I doing this? Yeah, in practice, just in 3 minutes, explaining you what's the model that I'm using. Yeah? So the process is as a strategy for simulations, right? Which consists on Yeah, okay. Simulate a drastic change scenario that can put in danger the continuity of your business. For this, I have a group that is called the WASPs that prepare the attack for the bees. You know, one of the teams prepared this scenario. And the important part of this is that the WASP prepare a scenario that is as much realistic as possible. Yeah. Should be as much realistic as possible. That's why I also use this collective hypnosis. It's called, I know that this name sounds weird. Yeah, it's not about, if hypnosis is not about, look here, now you're a chicken. Yeah. No, it's not that. It's in a specific type of language, so you can get into this mental state in which we really believe this is kind of happening-ish, right? And when you do it, you can see that when the people's face is white, that means it's working. Yeah? Right? Because otherwise, we're not getting into this mental state. You know? And like, well, yes, we're doing a simulation for the fire simulation. Yeah, I will send the email, and then I will see, So we need to make it real. Yeah? So this is an iterative process of creating or preparing a scenario. Yeah? In which areas? Well, this is going to have an impact. There's going to be operational, reputational, economic, and human. This is the 4 factors that I get the teams to prepare on. Yeah? These 4 types of factors. Yeah? It's important that we understand that we don't need to guess what is going to happen, but instead, we are trying to guess anything so that we start getting the abilities. Yeah? Try anything and get the abilities. You are never going to find this scenario that is going to become real in the future. Yeah? Then the B cycle. The base is the team, the people that are getting ready and responding to this simulation. Yeah? So how does it work? We start with a contingency plan that we already have prepared in previous simulation, or we might already have in the organization. If you don't have it, it's a great moment to start creating that contingency plan. Then the first tool is swarming. Yeah? So getting together with people from inside and from the outside of the organization. Yeah? I hope we can learn from that here in this crisis. Yeah? We have to learn that getting together is a great way to move forward, and fighting each other and blaming each other is not going to help. Yeah? Well, anyway, so then we plan product defense, review, and get improvements for the contingency plan, and maybe some innovation that we can still implement. Yeah? I found out that some disruptive innovation come from this induced crisis. Yeah? So this is how it works. We know how experimentation works, so this should be easy. Again, we have to overcome reputational, economic, operational, and human problems. Yeah? So that we can identify these patterns and then implement it in the future in the organizations. So, the structures, how does it work? There's a new structure going on that is swarming. We need to learn how to swarm. Learn how to get together between different departments and also between different organizations, right? So we're not having cross-functional teams, but cross-organizational teams. Yeah? How is the leadership? Well, we should implement a leadership style that is positive, that is oriented to overcoming these problems, and is oriented to get learnings so that the organization becomes stronger under these threats. Yeah. So they have a list of some values that my leaders integrate and install in organizations. So, as we said, if crises are always an opportunity, why to wait for a crisis? Just simulate your own. That's all. Thank you very much.